Me, I'm just trying to play it cool. Greetings, Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or any of these aspects in Vedic sidereal. We have a Mac Miller Perfecto playing. If it ain't perfect, let me see. Don't want to butcher the lyrics. Okay, we have I'm treading water, I know. If I stop moving, I'll float. Ain't nothing new. If it ain't perfect, well, it ain't perfect, but I don't mind because it's worth it. Who really has the time at all? So some of my Virgos don't feel like they have time for everything that they want to do. It ain't perfect, but I don't mind, because on the surface, I look so fine, but really I'm bugging, making something out of nothing. Yeah, tell me you love me, spin me around. Pretty please, pick me up in the air and don't put me down. Seen it all unfold, sit back and watch. No in time, don't give up about our clocks until they stop. Bare feet running late, her cart. Okay, yeah. Anywho. Okay, so Virgo, there's like a push-pull dynamic going on. There's something of like, there's like a timing thing here. P.S. I just got back from teaching yoga, so I might have, I don't know, makeup or something down my face or whatever. I just feel a sweat stuck on my skin right now. Alright, Virgo. Saw Queen of Wands in there. Could be dealing with an Aries or fire person. Saw Eight of Swords. Saw the King of Cups in reverse. Two of Swords in reverse. Someone's not making a decision, or they made a poor decision, or they're doing a head over heart decision and they're not marrying the two. I definitely feel like some of my Virgos are cutting their heads off from their hearts. And they feel like they have to. They're like, well, I have no choice. That person drove me to it. That person made me. You guys, no one ever makes you do anything. No one ever makes you do anything. If you do not like someone's behavior, walk away. I said this in one of the other readings. One of my favorite memes is this picture of two hands holding on a rope. And they're tugging on this rope. And all it takes for both of the hands are like blistered, they're bloody, they're like bruised and purple, and they're like really tugging on this rope. And the rope is like fraying on the edges and it's burning the hands and all that. And it says something along the lines of, all it takes for both hands to heal is one to let go. It's true. So, no one's making you do anything. People do things to us, so to speak, because we have contracts with them. We have things to learn. Knight of Swords is you, Virgo. You are wanting to passionately, quickly move in. We have the Tornado here. I've never actually noticed this. We do have the Magician in reverse, so you may feel like a Scorpio or an Aries. Oh, this is what's crossing you. So it's not in reverse, because crossed cards are never read as reversals. Interesting. So Knight of Swords with the Magician. With the Seven of Cups in the subconscious. So you have options, but if you look at these options, these are all like just naysayers in the crowd. There's this one here in the center with a beaming star around it. Virgo, your other person is like moved on because they know you have options and they're over it, but you are still holding out for this person, but you also recognize you have options, and some of my Virgos are maybe actually curious about their options. This could also be like even like a work situation for some of my Virgos, looking at numerous different work situations. Magician trying to manifest a new work situation, Knight of Swords trying to be smart about this and intellectualize a new business endeavor, new proposition. Could be also a relationship proposition, indeed, but if the Magician isn't a Scorpio or Aries person, then you're just trying to manifest something. What's crossing you is, again, getting into a grounded space of figuring out, like playing chess, mental chess, but also doing like the magic, working with the esoteric, working with numerology. I see a lot of numerology here, sacred geometry, looking at certain pictures. I'm not sure if you guys can see, like certain symbols back here that do different transmissions, and I'll use them for meditations to call in different things. We have the Ace of Cups is what's crowning you. So you are thinking absolutely about offering this cup. So even though you have the Seven of Cups in the subconscious, what's crowning you is you want to narrow it down to just one. You want to narrow it down to just one cup. And Knight of Swords, you want to deliver, you want to take action. Knights are all about action, and you want to communicate. Swords are all about communication. You want to communicate this action, but you're only going to do it if you feel certain. Notice one of these fish is in front of the cup, one is behind. So someone's hiding here, Virgo. Someone's like hiding in the bushes, energetically, so to speak. And yeah, we see there's all these other fish in the sea, but like these two are the same breed. Six of Swords in the past, so there was a walking away from a situation. You've already left this person, they've already left, you've already left this job. This is a situation of wondering if you can re-manifest the Magician with the Six of Swords. You're wondering if you can manifest something new, if you can actually be like, just kidding, I just went out to do a circle around the island and I'm coming back to the island. Six of Cups, because this is your soulmate. We have all sixes here. Six of Swords, the Magician in the middle, and then here we are, Six of Cups. Nostalgia, past life with this person. If you haven't already messed around with this person, this very well could be someone from childhood, could be soulmate. You could already be married, and you kind of went through a phase of someone kind of was mentally wandering and having a really difficult time with their emotions here. Seven of Cups can also be like disillusionment, someone who can't really make up their mind, brain fog, being indecisive, kind of living in this gray area, indifference. And remember, the opposite of love is not anger and hatred, it's indifference. Seven of Cups can also be indifference here. So this was a period where one of the people in this situation was kind of pulled to this indifferent brain fog state, and the other person also, Knight of Swords, could have like cut that off and been like, nope, I'm not dealing with that, I don't want that. But, you know, so Six of Swords, someone had to walk away when they knew they needed to walk away. But Magician, can we bring this back? Because Six of Cups, you're my Six of Cups. Just like the Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups with Six of Cups here, Virgo, this is such a love relationship, it's not even funny. It's like, you're my breed. You're my breed. There's not anyone else like me. Like, you're my breed. Like, Moses brought the animals in twos on the boat, and you were the pair that he brought me with. So, like, we have karma to finish by being together in this lifetime. Six of Cups. This is something that brings you warmth. If you're like totally single, there's not anything to do with another person. Virgo, this is about really falling in love with yourself for the first time, and it comes from childhood healing. Six of Swords, you're going back into your memory, you're going back into memories that you've had of the past. You're actually using the Six of Swords to go there. And then the Magician, you're pulling out deep memories. This is doing deep theta work. Shamanic journeying, going into those float tanks, spending time really going into the Akashic Records, astral traveling, having moments of hypnotherapy, going back into your memories, reading old journals, allowing yourself to really pull up the magic of when you were really happy, Virgo. Like, there's a time when your heart was so pure, when you were so happy, and I'm feeling this really strongly for some Virgo. There's a time when you were just so happy and you just loved so wildly and you're so childlike and playful, and there was a time when you really experienced joy. And I think some of my Virgos are realizing that as they've become an adult, as they've grown, their relationships may have all fallen out because Knight of Swords, Six of Swords, there's a lot of mental energy. It wasn't so, like, as life happened, you shut down your heart and you stopped feeling to a certain depth. And as you stopped feeling to that certain depth, you stopped really letting yourself arrive, so to speak, at a deeper space in your heart. There was like a blockage there. And some of my Virgos are really, with this Mercury and Pisces in retrograde, all this action going on right now, you're getting real deep in the feelings, Virgo, real deep in the feelings. And you're pulling these memories up and you're pulling this happiness. And it's like I don't know, it's just like you're pulling this blanket of like the sunshine. I'm thinking of the second Fantasia. There's a scene after a forest fire where everything's dead, and then like Mother Earth comes through and she brings a blanket of spring and just brings like a blanket of lush emerald green grass and like bushy trees and vibrant animals running through the forest again. And that's what I'm feeling with the Six of Cups in your future. It's like, if this isn't a person, then you're actually starting to feel this joy within yourself again, and it's going to eventually manifest in love, because as you become love, you bring love in, Virgo. Again, if this is, you're already in a relationship, then you guys are about to get really close, and you're going to get close over your childhood wounds. You may, yes, have a trauma bond with your partner, but you also have pure love there too. That's why we have the Six of Cups here. It's also, you know, complicated there, but Magician, you guys are meant to do work together. We have Judgment as your future energy on your path. Okay, so you're walking in with, you want to make a clear decision. Judgment with the Ace of Cups, this is singling down and making an offer after Seven of Cups, a period of disillusionment and a period of, Knight of Swords can also be flighty. He can come in for a good time. He's charming. He comes in and he leaves. So after having a time of being, this is like total boy energy, fuck girl energy, it just is, Virgo. Knight of Swords with the Seven of Cups. You sweet talk all of these cups and you have your way with them all, and one person's sick of it and they're over it and they're like, no. And how dare you, because you know what we have. You know what our bond is. How dare you, Virgo? How dare you? And remember, this could always be crossed. I love this. Your Judgment, they're the world. This is insane. And why? Because Seven of Swords, there was deception here. So absolutely someone was a Knight of Swords, charming motherfucker, and coming into these Seven of Cups and just having fun. They're like, well, what? I'm human. I am this age. I'm supposed to just dip my another. No, it's okay. What's happened has happened. This is some situation. It can also, again, just be checking out. When you check out mentally and emotionally, you are abandoning your partner. Even if you're not cheating by like pulling in another energy, the other energy can you just be detaching from them entirely and abandoning them and being supportive. But as you did this, Virgo, the person goes, you know what, that's fine. I've got the world in front of me. They're actually threatening for it to be over, Virgo. They just don't care. Your indifference, this is what happened, Virgo. Whatever situation that you may have walked away from and you became indifferent whenever you were having those 7 of Cups, they were not necessarily entertaining 7 of Cups, but they were having to stick with themselves. They were going through 9 of Swords, 10 of Swords energy, and that birthed them out because they grew through that pain, that feeling of not feeling like you were there, or, you know, vice versa. While you were working on your job, working on your, you know, just caught up in your own things, they found the world here. They found the world here. And they haven't really quite decided if it's going to be with you or not. And you are having, you know, they feel like you are the one to make the decision. They're like, well, it's in your hands. But some of my Virgos are feeling stubborn and they're feeling like it's really not. They feel like it's in the other person's hands. Virgo, Judgment and the World. You guys are both really strong energies here. We have the 7 of Swords, so there was deception. Now, the outcome is the Knight of Cups, the Sun, and the 3 of Wands in reverse. So this smells like reconciliation. The Sun, it's like the happiest card in the deck with the Knight of Cups. The most, you know, loving, romantic, charming. And with that 6 of Cups and the Ace of Cups, yeah, it's like the Knight of Swords can hook up with all these people because he's not connecting on a heart level. He's just being charming and he's saying all the right words, and he knows, you know, he's a knight, so he's agile, he knows his body well. All knights know their body well. You know, they're athletes. So he knows what to say, and he's an athlete. So, of course, he's going to, you know, be the magician, have that Scorpio energy in bed, that Aries fire. Enjoy all these 7 of Cups. Or, you know, you're doing that, so to speak, mentally speaking. You're always kind of doing this push-pull, putting the carrot in front of the horse, but not quite letting the horse get the whole thing. Now, with the Sun here, it is absolutely new beginning or illumination, enlightenment. Someone's going to get the truth here. Knight of Cups. Someone is going to try an offer of love. 3 of Wands in reverse. 3 of Wands upright is looking on. It's saying, holding the world and looking out to the other islands and deciding to move on and continue on. In reverse, it might be staying. It's considering giving this a shot. So, it's curious. Someone's definitely thinking about coming back around. But there's definitely deception here, that 7 of Swords. And you guys, everyone's different. You have to know when to draw the line, right? And it's like, it's hard. Life is hard. Relationships are hard. But the relationship with yourself and stabilizing and coming to a place of center and calm with the relationship with yourself will always lead you to good judgment and the world, a new beginning, a new cycle. If you stick with the flow of how things are going, and you stick with it, and you make choices. You don't have indecision. You must make a choice, because we all have to fail, right? Sometimes we stay in the 7 of Cups, 7 of Swords. This is indifferent. This is indecisive energy. Virgo, this is someone who just doesn't want to make a decision. They don't want to grow up because they want to have their cake and eat it too. And what's funny is you never actually get the cake whenever you can't make a decision. You have to fully commit to something. This reeks of someone who cannot commit. This is what this is. 7 of Swords. It doesn't necessarily have to be cheating, but it's someone who's not going full in the partnership. They're not fully sharing and giving emotionally and vulnerably. They're not fully in it. They're not investing. They're not realizing that a relationship, to really make it work, is coming together, braiding yourselves, you, them, and some other higher source or something other than yourselves, to mend and pull you guys together. If you don't, believe in God, if you don't believe in the divine, then, whatever it is you believe in. And if you don't believe in anything, then why are you watching tarot? Okay, so anyhow. 7s are also all about spiritual. So the person can, again, going through a huge spiritual awakening. So they're really unsure about things. The thing with this deception here with the 7 of Swords and the hopes, dreams, and fears, again, fearing this because it's already happened. They're worried about this. This is why someone's having to make a judgment call. But with the Sun here, everything's going to be illuminated. Everything is going to come out. And with that 3 of Wands in reverse, I feel like there's definitely going to at least be a conversation with the Knight of Cups, but we do have the stingrays in the Knight of Cups, which I always thought was interesting. We do have the stingrays. So there is a possibility, you know, to be stung here. So let's see what the runes say for you guys. I always want you when I'm coming down. I always want you when I'm coming down. Okay, Virgo. So someone here might be drinking, partying, doing a little smoky smoke, having a little fun with mushies or psychedelics or something. Someone's doing something here. I was thinking about someone when they're coming down. Let's see what the runes say for Virgo, 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 Virgo. You know, it's funny, we have the energies of the 6s and the 7s here. So you could be 666, 777, 366, 336, 767, any combination of 3, 6s, and 7s. If you want to look up 3, 6s, and 7s. If you're into numerology, I love numerology. And anytime you see certain numbers, just think of like the state of mind that you're in. Think of, you know, if there's anything that was crossing your mind, if you had recently had a conversation with anyone, whenever those numbers came out, etc., etc. All right, so we have Isa keeps coming up, and Haglaz. Okay, I believe that's Haglaz. Yeah. Yay! I'm finally learning these. It's funny. I thought that it would take me a while to learn all the names, but because I wrote such an extensive book on all of the runes by hand, and I really spent a lot of time, look at all that fine print, Virgo, it actually really like embedded the knowledge into my brain. It's a nice way. So we have 9 and 11. So 11, we have the soulmate card here, and 9 is a perfect cycle in completion in Hermetics. So yeah, we see is like 10 in the tarot is like the complete cycle, but actually in Hermetics it's actually 9. So for runes, it's 9. So we have Haglaz, which is all about the hailstorm. Now the thing with hail is it pelts you, and it's annoying, and it stings, like the stingray. What did I say? Knight of Cups, it stings. Woo! But you know what? Like we had in the Pisces reading, ice melts, baby. So Virgo, you might be dealing with a Pisces here, someone who has Pisces in their chart. Ice melts, Virgo. Ice melts. So after the hailstorm, the ice melts and it becomes water. And what is water? It's the most important thing really on the world for life. You're like 80% water. You know, it's water is needed. Water nurtures. Water is life-giving. Water is flow. But the hail was what this water came from. 7 of Swords. So this is about crisis, radical change, catastrophe. So 7 of Swords. It can also be severe weather. So some of my Virgos, watch out for weather coming up. The elements of nature, the uncontrollable, unavoidable unpleasantness, regression, acceptance of the unalterable, seed formation, the powers beyond human ability to harness growth, flourishing after sharp realizations in life, the cosmic primal egg, protection, balance of forces, completeness, withdrawal, banishment. So again, really choosing judgment here, Virgo, to banish the other the other 6 cups and really choose the Ace of Cups to really commit and banish anything else. You can't have, the 7 of Swords might just be deceptive because you still kind of have these like, you'll occasionally still reach out to an ex or this or that. And you're like, oh no, it's all fine, this and that. You can't, when you really want to commit and build a life with someone, Virgo, you have to get to a place where you know how to banish people from your life, because Queen and a King banish people from their life. They don't have revolving doors. They have like gates, and they have moats, and they have crocodiles in their moats, and they have, you know, knights with horses guarding, you know, like there's actually a foundation built, and there's boundaries and parameters, and there's disgust, you know, there's respect there. And if we don't fall into that, then we fall into the ugly side of humanity, which is just the indifference. Well, you know, it's there and it feels good and this and that and blah, blah, Virgo. That's the state that someone's in. They're just doing me. They're just like, I'm just doing me. Or they, you know, there's an indifference here. Someone has not grown up, matured spiritually. And that's why Haglaz is coming through. The hailstorm is looking at this person and they're like, they need to grow up spiritually and realize the rite of passage of going from the 7 of Cups to the Ace of Cups, of looking at all these options. I don't know where the 7 of Cups disappeared to. Looking at all these options, woo, going nowhere in life because they're going through all these revolving doors, 7 of Swords, coming and going, coming and going. Validate me for a night, please, Knight of Swords. There's no emotion in it. I can fake it though because I'm smart. No, you're gotta grow up. Ace of Cups. Grow up. Sun. enlightenment on the situation. With the sun here, and we have the full moon and the Seven of Swords, if you don't already know what came out, the deception's going to come out by the full moon, around the full moon. We do have the protection of the fire here. We have the pyramids, the triangles, looking into Egyptian culture, and Hermetics would just really be powerful for Virgos right now at this time. This is about the subconscious garbage and owning your subconscious garbage. This is about don't try and fix what we should break before it breaks us, Virgo. This is short-term disappointment for long-term good. Victim consciousness, obsessed with the past, blaming others. Protection through banishing disharmonious patterns. Bringing full awareness to your unconscious ideals for eventual procession. This is about the inevitability of fate and word. It means all actions have a reaction. What's the reaction going to be? Probably the balance of what the initial action was. The initial action wasn't that good. Seven of Swords. The initial action wasn't sure, wasn't really looking at the target. I was listening to Michael Todd, I believe, pastor, the sermon, and it was so funny. He was talking about people in relationships these days, and he was like, would you get, he's like, 50% of marriages fail. Would you get on an airplane if the flight attendant was like, hi guys, it's a sunny day, just so you guys know, the plane has a 50% chance of getting to its destination. Are you still going to get on that plane? Like, are you still really going to take that plane? Do you think anyone would still fly on the plane if the person was like, greetings, folks, just so you know, we have a 50% chance. There's a 1 out of 2 possibility of us making it to the destination. That's what marriage is these days. That's why you have to actually be Ace of Cups. That's why you have to be clear. That's why you have to have the Sun with Judgment and the Ace of Cups to really make something that lasts. And the Magician. You need the magic too. You do need the magic. You need spirituality. You need spirituality because being human, the earthly, fleshly pleasures are not enough to make marriage actually work for the long haul, Virgo. And you're realizing that. Hagelas. Whew. That's coming through. This is about the deep acceptance of the unalterable truths, seeking shelter and patience while things blow off. This is about objective confrontation of your past patterns. Yes, hail pelts you and it confronts you, and then it melts into water and creates transformation for seeds and nurturing for seeds. Remember, hail is like considered a grain, and grains grow into crops, plentiful crops. From a grain, a whole garden. Okay? So we're going from a grain to a garden. And Virgo, that happens not just because of humanliness. That happens because someone has solid judgment. They commit. They make a choice. The Sun, they choose full clarity of the situation. Ace of Cups, they're commanding their love and they are declaring it. They're making a declaration. This is like for the whole world to see. Hagelas, complete cycle. This is revealing your personal past, spring cleaning, dispelling and processing your subconscious garbage. This is your shadow self. Allowing yourself to really process it so your life can carry forward in a pure form. This is about also early childhood development and past lives and connections with past lives. That's a Six of Cups energy. This is also having the ability to cleanly curse someone. They will only experience the ill effects of their own accountability or their lack thereof. We have Fighter by Christina Aguilera playing now. Oh my gosh, you guys. Thanks for making me a fighter. It made me a little bit stronger. Made my skin a little bit thicker. Thanks for making me a fighter. Woo, Virgo. Someone is feeling feisty towards you, or you're feeling feisty towards someone. Someone definitely has, I just felt like a strong Five of Swords presence. This is a dark feminine power, witchcraft, female magic. It triggers suppressed inner conflicts, thus impeding them. This is necessary destruction to bring through a rebirth of a whole, wait for it, bring forth the birth of a whole new world, a dazzling place I never knew. I don't know. But when we're way up here, it's crystal clear. Okay, yeah. Emotional outbursts. Also, this is an opportunity to upgrade your consciousness. It is painfully beneficial. I like that. Painfully beneficial. Life is pain, you guys. It just is. Being in these human forms is pain compared to what our spirits are used to. Colors purple, yellow, and orange will be powerful for you, I swear. And we have Isa, of course, the Ice Queen. She's been coming out all week. This is being in the ice incubator, So someone is the hailstorm, like the hail is not like an external storm. It's like you guys are being hailstorms to each other. Someone is like, okay, fine. Well, hail can't hurt fellow hail, so I'll just become ice and then, you know, but ice melts. So, okay. Anywho, this is about isolation, paralysis. So some of my Virgos feel like they can't make a choice right now. They can't make a decision. This is about withdrawing, going into a state of meditation. So meditation would be powerful for you guys. Maybe doing a Vipassana or doing like a 48-hour no technology weekend. Like say from Friday night at a certain time to Sunday night at a certain time, like 8 p.m. Friday night to 8 p.m. Sunday night. Turn off your phone, don't touch it, and just be in total noble silence with yourself. If you live with other people, like let them know. Just be like, hey, just say no. For the next 48 hours, I'm going totally silent. I'm not going to talk, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to be. I think it would be really helpful if we could do this once a month. Of course, not all people can really afford to do that, especially if you have kids and all that jazz. But this is going to be important for you to do at some point, Virgo. So, 48 hours of noble silence. You've been prescribed from spirit. Okay. This is about controlling and quieting one's emotional distress. So again, maturing, maturation. Instead of being like, screw them, I'm gonna get even, this or that, or well, they're doing this, and instead of any of those childish jealousy, tit for tat, like they're having fun without me, how dare they, any of that energy, or Seven of Swords, I'm hiding this, or like I'm not cheating, but I'm still gonna like, you know, text my ex and just see how they are kind of thing, or Seven of Cups, I'm not cheating, but like I'm kind of grazing, or just kind of letting myself think, or like look a little too long, etc., etc. P.S. My water looks like piss because it has elderberry in it. Love, ooh, love, long as we got love, long as we got love, okay, as long as we got love, ice melts, Virgo. Ice only appears to stop a river's flow, but underneath that sheet of ice, the river is still flowing, the current is still moving along, Virgo. This is about resting before taking action. We are still in Mercury retrograde, so, you know, there might be action by around like March 15th-ish, once it fully goes direct. This is about the root must be looked at. So, like the last one, Hoglaws, was the seed. Be careful and look at the seeds that you've planted. Last year's seeds are this year's crops. If you don't like the crops this year, look at what seeds you planted last year. And understand that you can change next year's crop, and it's going to be painful, and it's gonna feel like a hailstorm pelting you. And it may be a pretty lonely process and a painful process, but Virgo, next year's crops will be amazing if you put in the work to, you know, have a great crop again. This is about prosperity, self-mastery, correcting your nervous system, calming frenzied and wasted energy. This is about storing your energy, using your energy for ritual, allowing it to become more potent that way, strengthening your willpower, strengthening your concentration. So anything, Virgo, that will allow you to really get into a deeply meditative state and a concentrating state will be really powerful for you. That will also make you more tired. So again, remember that this is a lot of rest. This is about the hidden part of the iceberg. 90% of the iceberg is beneath the water. You only see 10% of the iceberg. So this is about whatever you're doing in the 90% beneath the water that other people aren't seeing, that you're still working on, is what really makes you. That's what makes next year's crops. People don't see the seeds when they look at a farm who just planted seeds. They just see an empty field. They don't see the seeds. They don't see anything. They don't see any worth. But come back a year later and that whole, you know, field is going to be feeding thousands. So this is about falling for the mask, the glitter over someone's shit. This is about choosing superficial desires instead of spiritual substance and then reaping the consequences of that choice. Beware of what you claim to know. So some of my Virgos may feel like they really know. They really know. You know nothing, Jon Snow. Okay. This is a weak spot in the ice will swallow the wary. A weak spot on the ice will swallow you whole. Alright, so you gotta watch out for that weak spot on the ice. This is about hiding of unwanted dynamic forces. This is about self-defense, integrating your ego and focusing on the self so that you can become more single-minded and focused on something. This freezes something beautiful. Nothing is as slow and as treacherous as a glacier. This is about slowing fire, building blocks, truly balancing your body, mind, and your spirit, knowing your shadow self. This is about having ego trips, hence falling for the mask. This warns you to not get trapped into routines. This is all about the moon, the alder tree, nurturing through holding back and contraction before expansion. So grounded contraction before you can expand. Rest and recharge right now so that you can give purely later, Virgo. All right, let's see what the ponies have to say for you guys. Quite a bit with the runes there. Only 2 runes, but I felt like I just said a lot. All right, Virgo, we have acceptance. Occurrences are not what they may seem at this time. Not all things which may feel or appear to be false or troubling at this time are as traumatic as they appear on the surface. Virgo, you're being called upon to move into acceptance, not of the situation or the negativity, but of the truth that everything in your life has a purpose and a reason for its occurrence. All will work itself out for the highest possible outcome. Release all of your fears, Virgo. Let go of your illusion of control. At this time, your lesson is about acceptance, trust, and faith. Accept that all is divinely guided and that what you cannot yet see is still perfect as it unfolds. All right, Virgo, I like this for you guys. So yeah, you're being called to just rest, chill right now. Figure yourself out. Figure out what you want. Be guided now. Allow yourself to be guided. The guide cannot take the steps for you. That is your job, but the guide will show you the way. So you need a guide, Virgo. Can be a married couple. This is the thing. If ever you want to have a relationship, then you probably can't just be you become what you hang out with. I had this conversation with another sign the other night. You become the energy you hang out with. It's just a proven fact. It's literally a proven fact. You become energetically the top 5 energies you're around. So someone is saying like, could I really get somewhere if my spouse wasn't fully supportive of me becoming like a big artist? Could I do that with them? Technically, maybe, probably, but you're gonna get there a lot faster if you have energy of someone who's supporting you and believing in you and is like right there and cheering you on. If you have someone that's constantly pulling you back, then yeah, you're using that dynamic to like try and balance it out, and you're basically using them for like school, for like sparring. And that's not really love. That's not really partnership. That's not flourishing. That's like playing a game of tug of war. And a game of tug of war isn't going to create like a sculpture of Michelangelo's or anything, you know, like you need teamwork, you need reciprocity, you need balance, there's so many more components than that push-pull dynamic. That's such like a base fleshling level of connection. It's just like that push-pull sparring of school. That's like knights sparring. That's not a king or queen energy, and that's definitely not an emperor or empress energy. No, the empress is not going to be playing tug of war with anyone. No. The Empress will she'll say, oh, what does Khaleesi say? Dracarys. Then the dragons will just, and they'll just fire. She'll be like, hey dragon, Dracarys, and they'll just, flame them out. And then the Empress will be like, oh, it's time for my nail appointment or something. I don't know, I have no nails. Okay. So be guided now. The guide will show you the way. It is up to you, Virgo, if you choose to take it, or whether you tread carefully, dance, or run along the sacred path towards the loving arms of the Holy Mother. The Mother is always there for you. So this is about spending time in nature, trusting your divine feminine. Maybe some of my Virgos are actually getting closer to their mom. Oh, I love this one. It reminds me of a girl talking to her grandmother. So some of my Virgos have someone who's passed, and your grandmother's trying to relay information to you. Some of you, this is your older self, like this is you like 50 years from now, giving you advice for this moment right now. Because judgment, there's a big decision that you need to make, Virgo. A big decision. And you have to make this decision. You don't have a choice. You have to make this decision, and the person that you're dealing with is also making a huge decision because they have the entire world here. They have the world card. Yeah, you're making a sound, solid choice about something, but it doesn't matter what choice you really make, Virgo, because this person has already called in their new world. They've already manifested it. They've already done the work, and fate has something planned here. But your ancestors are trying to get something through to you. This might come through in your dreams. This will come through in meditation if you keep asking and opening up for your grandmother, your future self, your future older self, to give you guidance on the situation. It is easy to love the butterfly, a symbol of hope and emergence into new life, growing towards rebirth. The path of the caterpillar may seem somewhat less blessed. Yet without the caterpillar, the butterfly could never be, Virgo, except that which is ending in your life right now, so that you can open up and receive everything that is beginning. This is the true flow of life. So Virgo, some of you guys might have to make a judgment call to really let this person go on their path. It is time. It's time for them to go on their way. It's time for you to make a judgment call. For some of my Virgos, it's time for you to decide if you want to make certain life changes, to really try and just see, give this a shot, see if you can join their world. The choice is yours, and it's not your responsibility to worry or have any concerns about how the other person is going to handle it. It's up to you and your relationship with your source, your higher power, the decisions you make. Always make sure that they're grounded from the heart. All right, I love you guys, and I'll see you shortly for your end of the month readings.